Ladies and gentlemen, we are now.
Are we dead yet?
No, we'll see. We are live. I'm gonna give people just a couple of minutes here to join us.
And well, it says it's not going live for 3 minutes anyway.
That's on the because of the time on the card.
Maybe
that could
refresh the page. Refresh that page
on Facebook. Yeah, it says 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting. The video is now live. Just kidding.
There you go. See, and it's just it's one of those things, and that's why we just sit here and we talk, because there's people who know that we start at 5 or 6 or midnight, depending on where you live. And but somebody's here now, and my guess is that's actually probably you watching from your phone.
That's me. That was me checking the feed. Yeah. All right, carry on.
So, but yeah. So anyway, the point is that we're live anyway. So let's start the countdown. Looking good. Marcus, Leo, what's up, guys?
Is that an NFT? A chart?
Y'all are in for a treat today. We might end early. That's a good-looking man right there.
How's Halloween?
You, based on your social media profiles, you must do Halloween a lot. I'm assuming it's a W.
Throwing up gang signs and whatnot.
Great.
Getting serious up in here. So, oh gosh, bringing it way back.
That's how we do. That's how we do. Is that how
Yeah,
the kids say
sure.
it? Is that how the kids say it?
You should make this countdown a couple minutes longer.
We thought about it.
But we wanted to create the world's longest live show countdown clock.
But we don't have it.
The reality is there are people who do much longer ones. Than us.
And they dance behind it.
We could have.
And they don't have people with acupuncture and cross eyes on there. So.
Oh, that is acupuncture.
I was assuming that was a weird fetish. You just never know when you might pop up. You're gonna have fun, Sebastian.
I believe you.
It's Sebastian, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Who's our guest today, Chad?
Hold on. Sebastian.
The Bastion of podcasts.
Oh, it's almost over. Anyone but Daniel is trending in the Nancy Lewis household.
This is like waterboarding.
Did you say it's like waterboarding?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Is that an NFT? That
Actually, that's a good.
You didn't realize how classy of a show you were coming on, did you?
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Nothing but class here. Sebastian.
Subpellucid. Sebastian.
Countdown's way too long.
And yet people sit here and watch it. Even on the replay. That's what's fun.
Okay. On the replay. That was mild.
I think that sums up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this show has peaked. You could leave now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is. I've got to say, this show has one unique feature that every week Chad gets to mess with my head here, and then he just sits there and watch and listens. He puts this like deafening sound in my ears, and he just waits for me to open.
Nancy, I apologize. Nancy says she does wish that she'd had that disclaimer before she came on the show, but it's we understand. And if our attorneys hadn't told us otherwise, we probably would never have added it on. But we did. It's there, and you're welcome for all of the future watchers.
It is what it is. It is what it is. That's how we say it here.
We're using that phrase now. We've hit rock bottom for sure. Anyway, let's, our guest showed up pretty dang early today. There was a little bit of a confusion, so I feel bad that he's already had to suffer a lot. Also, Leo, thank you. For those who don't know, Leo every week makes sure that we get the correct hex code of Daniel's current hair color. And there you go. One of these days, we're going to make a chart, and we'll give it to you as a downloadable PDF. You can just, when you register for the Subpellucid newsletter.
You're on a roll, Chad. I think you might not need a co-host any longer. I think you're good to go. And
anyone but Daniel, right?
Yeah. I could take on the role of our number one viewer, literally our number one viewer. Since there we go. Anyone but Daniel. If you no longer want Daniel, myself to be the co-host, you can volunteer to be the co-host instead of me, or use the hashtag anyone but Daniel to nominate someone else. As soon as we find somebody, trust me, they will be here in my stead.
It's like, there's this dressed down Chad. So look, it's hockey. It's the hockey playoffs, and my Islanders are doing really well right now. So I've had this on for 3 weeks, and haven't changed. So I think it's just a lucky thing. Anyway, the show's not about me. It's a little bit about Daniel. It's mostly about Leo and Nancy, but overall today it's about our guest. So why don't we get that rolling and introduce the one and only. Well, let's just introduce.
But I just wanted to share a quick story with you real quick for all of you Twitter haters out there, the ones that say, I don't do Twitter, I hate Twitter. Let me help you better understand once again that Twitter is the most powerful website on the planet. But I just...
Wow. Most powerful on the planet. And you heard that from our guest, the one and only, that is Sebastian Rusk, who was kind enough to send over headshots. And that's how we were able to get this. So, and if you'd like to know how you can get similar headshots, I think he's going to share a link with us after a while. Daniel, I'm going to just throw another clip, and then we're just going to bring him in because my gut tells me he's about to walk out on us.
These days, you can build a brand from nothing. I did it with a bow tie and a flip cam. So can you. Social media sucks if you don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
So Sebastian, this is the point where you realize that everything you've been saying so far. Yeah, you made a big mistake. Oh, I think you realized that long ago. But I think that up until now, nobody could hear you. So except myself, I was the only one who could hear you.
Right.
So,
I noticed that after a while, after I wasn't getting a rise out of anybody. I commented in the thread that my comment didn't show up either.
Yes, that's the Subpellucid way.
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, I'm being filtered. I kindly ask someone get me out of here. Yeah.
He's got a sign that says, "I'm being held against my will."
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that theme later in the show. So did we introduce Sebastian? We tell anybody who Sebastian is? I don't think you did, Chad. You were supposed to introduce him. In my detailed show notes here, I can see a whole section that you skipped about.
the email I got from his personal assistant said not to do an introduction, that he's the kind of guy that needs no introduction.
That works.
Uh-huh. Okay, good.
She had shadow band. That's right, Robert Ritter. Shadow band.
Shut up.
You know, it's funny. Actually, Sebastian, before the show, we were talking about getting a drink, and that it's actually something that happens on occasion here. And here we go. People are already commenting. They need a drink now. So
right, they need a drink. Yeah.
No.
It's unclear if you need a drink before you get on the show or once you get off the show. But either way, a drink is necessary. So we have a bunch of questions for you. Actually, we don't have a bunch of questions for you. Usually we have a bunch of questions. And this time we were planning for the show, and Chad and I, we have detailed sessions where we sit down and we do a lot of work. People have no clue how much work goes into this show. Chad also contributes a bit. But anyway, we sat down and we were thinking, what should we ask? And we had nothing to ask you. But we realized one thing: you are a professional podcaster, or at least so you say. So you know how to interview people. So we figured, why not just outsource the questions to you and ask you, okay, what are some good questions to ask a guest on a show? Yeah, like tell us what questions would be good ones to like open for somebody which we didn't introduce. He has no idea what he's doing in the show, what the show is about, and how do you get going? What would be a good question there?
Welcome to the laziest host ever. I'll tell you what, before you, since this is going to allow us a little opportunity to really get.
We already have a question here. We have a question already from Marissa. What does a professional podcaster do? They podcast for a living. Well, I juggle cats.
Look at that. Like
you do that too.
Marissa thought she was throwing you with that tough one, but boom, didn't even flinch. I'll tell you what, we want to get to know you, but let's.
It's a great question, Marissa. Don't worry about these two.
Let's do it officially.
They don't want you to use Snapchat filters. We're going to use Snapchat filters. Major key. Major.
Know you. Getting to know all.
That's a great accent, by the way.
Like that's Chad pretending to be me, pretending to be singing like Chad.
Okay, now we're ready to ask questions.
Right?
Did we mess up the order again? You brought the intro to the segment way too late, Chad. Now I missed my announcement of what segment this is.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah. So Leo, we should bring in Leo to introduce the segment. So what's your name again? Our guest, Sebastian. Yes.
Subpellucid.
So what's
Subpellucid? My name's Subpellucid. I should have. I almost go. You know what? No, I'll wait. I'll delay. A little afternoon. Happy hour. I'm going to get this last interview in, and then I'm going to go relax. I'm going to watch my beloved Chicago Cubbies. That's how my Tuesday evening is going to roll. I am in deep regret that I did not pound copious amounts of tequila before sitting down for this shit show we like to call Subpellucid. Okay?
Subpellucid, worse than watching.
Subpellucid. Right.
Subpellucid is how you pronounce it after you've had the few shots of tequila.
Right. So
Subpellucid.
I mean, we've done some things in this show. Like I've called our guest. We had a guest where I kept calling him David or Paul. I kept calling him Paul the entire time. It wasn't his name. But we haven't had a guest before who kept calling the show the wrong name. That was the first time. So that's you're right in the groove here.
Let's just call it podcast. It's great to be on the podcast.
The podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to our podcast.
It keeps it easy. I just text my attorney a picture of the dental chair and said, I'm a guest on a podcast. They really got me good. And he replied back, LMFAO, and he doesn't laugh at anything. So,
oh, man.
In the early Snapchat days, major key.
I always start sweating a little bit when the guest leads early on with, so I just sent a screenshot to my attorney.
Right.
You've had that happen to you before, I think.
What's your mailing address? Yeah. What does is there a shell corporation for this circus you guys got running on here?
Right. Yeah, there are offshore accounts and all kinds of things involved with this show. Big time. Now, podcast. But let's go back to podcast, because you literally have recently written the book on podcasts. So you've done one or two. And while we're not really asking you about the book right now, but we will give people a chance to hear about that and give them a link, whatever. I want to know what's the most embarrassing or biggest faux pas moment you ever had on a podcast.
So other than this one.
Yes, besides this one. That's a given. It wasn't a rhetorical question.
Oh, I remember. I had a local TV radio personality that I'd grown up with. He's still on the air. His name's Paul Castronovo. And he had a sidekick for years when I was growing up, a rock station down there. They moved around because that's kind of what you do based on the contract. But it was the Paul Castronovo and young Ron Brewer show. And you meet them at remote broadcasts throughout the years, like actually used to happen. The radio station DJs will go out to a baseball game, etc.
Oh yeah.
So I had a chance to meet him, but then I didn't meet him back then. I met him when I moved back to Miami and at an event for the Miami Dolphins, and we had connected and had his number. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. Now I'm connected with Paul, this, that, and the other. And I realized he's kind of a staple here in the South Florida area. He's been on the air for 25 years. And I said, yeah, let's get you on the podcast. And he's like, let's do it. Well, at the time I was using a platform called Blog Talk Radio. And it was like 40 or 45 bucks a month, something like that, early podcasting days. And I had not signed up for that. I think I was just restarting the show. I don't remember what I did, but I had this bright idea to do the phone interview on my phone instead of like even my headset into my computer. And I went to go sign up for it right away. And I downloaded like this call recorder app. I'm like, maybe I can just record the phone call. And yeah, it was a disaster. Needless to say, Paul never returned my call again. But ouch. It's all good. He follows me on TikTok now. Maybe we'll be able to be reunited at one point in time. That reminds me, I need to hit him up. I'm like, it's been a while since that debacle. I'll never forget, he was in the car on his way to Universal Studios. So he was like on speakerphone. It wasn't like he had blocked off studio time. It was just kind of like, I got 4 hours to burn. What do you want to talk about? So anyway, but he was like, yeah, we'll reschedule it. And that never happened. So like, Paulie, if you're watching this, let's get you on the show.
Like, I'm using my OnStar for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not watching this.
He's definitely not watching. No, he's got the morning show. He's probably in bed.
No, he's not. He's not one of the. He's not one of our two viewers. Three actually. I think you're watching it too at this moment.
Yeah, I am. I sent it to my mom and my sister. So I got a few. We got a couple more.
Marissa wants to know what your shirt says. We can't both keep hitting it.
My shirt says "Podcasts suck if you don't have one," which is the name of my book. Which we refused to talk about. We were starting to talk about it, and then just changed subjects and said we'll talk about it later.
We'll get. You'll have your moment. You'll have your moment. I have a follow-up question to Marissa. Is how in the crap did she get sea bass? As what she thought your shirt possibly might say.
That's a great question too. No, sea bass. Past life. It was a past life. I've since. He's just not here anymore. Okay. Seabass. I've since, because it was always kick his ass, Seabass. And it was like, wow, if I had $1 for every time I heard that. So plus it was more of like, an alter ego that I left behind. Now I go, it used to be Seabass. Now it's more of, Rico Suave or El Fabuloso. So those are two that I go teeter back and forth, but Seabass, that mofo, he flew the coop.
I can see the Rico Suave. Kind of got a vibe.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Daniel, it's not Rico, it's Rico.
Oh, Rico. Sorry, Rico. Yes. A funny story about rolling your R's.
Well, you kind of led right into the next question, which is, your T-shirt says podcasts suck. And I was gonna like throw that at your face because we are live streamers, Chad and myself. Although I actually do have a podcast, but
hey, the funny part, Marissa Callie, she asked a question in a group today or commented, and I think I liked the comment. So the internet's a very tiny place. That's the lesson that we're learning here. And that might have been in an event group. I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that that's you.
Yeah, so, because the odds of her being somewhere and then that same person actually watching this show.
I think it was her for sure. It was her. Marissa, did you comment in the group today about an event? I think you did. So anyway,
I
just thought I'd throw that out there,
Wow.
I'm hosting the show here. So
Wow. Only in Subpellucid. Like things can happen. You know, it's
well,
just,
you know.
My heat breakfast is 300 yards from 4,000 Cubans who are trained to kill me. So don't think for 1 second that you can come down here, flash a badge, and make me nervous.
Who said that? Where did that come from?
Jack sometimes decides to
I love
barge
it.
in. Yeah.
You can't.
I don't know how that happened. Yeah,
Ugh.
that was next.
Well, since Daniel's question wasn't a question, but was just a comment about something that actually was irrelevant because he has a podcast, I will go ahead and throw something out at you that Daniel and I were kind of pondering. And that is, if you were to be one of the get-rich-quick schemers, what would be your scheme?
Amway.
But if you could create
That was
from
a
scratch,
very quick response.
Oh,
Wait.
well. I would never create a get rich quick scheme. I would never. My brain doesn't even go there because I automatically think, I don't know.
You think
It doesn't
a podcast,
work, and this
You
may hinder people's, belief system in themselves and business, etc. Not to mention, get rich quick scheme. I don't know.
okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I wouldn't create
Yeah.
one. It's outside the limitations of my integrity.
Gotcha.
My
Kinda like the
integrity
whole,
doesn't
like
have
when,
even.
if you're hypnotized, they say there's certain things even under hypnosis that you just wouldn't do. Is that
It could happen. Anything's possible. It's yeah. I mean, I'm a recovered Baptist, so
wow?
yeah,
That's
there's
like
a lot
what-
there.
it's like a 10-week rehab thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's called go to the bar and get shit faced with your pastor. It works out great. Yeah.
Wow. And to all the Baptists who are currently watching the show,
If you're offended, I'm not. Sorry.
you probably shouldn't
But
be
Jesus
watching the
loves
show.
you. Right.
Yeah, I don't think this is a show about about that. I don't know, but whatever. I'm stumped on that topic. I'm not very
You
familiar
guys
with.
walked right into this. Okay. So yeah, I
And
can
like-
hang. I can hang with weird. Weird knows weird. I was in Austin for a couple months. Yeah. That's weird.
Sebastian's making me
Okay.
kind of like break out more of my other voice, my mic voice, my back.
That's
in
a
the
nice
days.
microphone you got there.
Oh, thank you. It's a Shure Super 55.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah, love it. But I was an old radio guy as well, way back in the day. Did the DJ thing, but so it kind of reminded me of some of those.
I grew
days.
up in a radio station.
Wow, did they know you were there, or was it just like?
Yeah, they knew we were there. It was my dad. He would drag me in there, and he would go
Nice.
sell the ad, and then come back and literally cut the ad, and then anything that was like kid worthy, like a kid could totally cut this track. He would have me do those,
Nice.
and in exchange for a Happy Meal. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I'd spent
I actually broke into radio.
it really wasn't actually, but
calling into a morning show as a very racially insensitive character. So we won't go into that, but that's how I kind of got into it.
So
yeah, I mean, it just so happened that I ended up in the podcasting space, and my dad was a DJ for 30 years. So I didn't understand how that all worked out. But a buddy of mine told me on the golf course a couple months ago that our genes are pretty powerful. So I thought, that's something to think about.
I've seen you in jeans, and I agree.
I only wear skinny jeans.
All my jeans are skinny jeans.
Yeah.
They're not labeled that way.
Even them Wranglers I got over there at Zayre's.
Daniel had a question about your last name.
thank you, Chad. So for that intro.
I'm gonna toss it over to Daniel.
So anyway, we were wondering about the name Rusk. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? What does that mean? Do you know what it means? Where it comes from? Because we do.
I don't. Yeah. I don't, but I'm told it's from a Norwegian origin.
Wrong. No,
Right.
it is according to a website on the internet. We have learned that
Just a
Rusk
random one.
actually is actually a Scottish origin, which makes you and I, it gives you and I something. But it is found only in Ireland, and it means Leo says Rusk is a biscuit.
I have heard that. I
in the
have heard
UK.
that, Leo. Yes.
I think that's a much better explanation.
Baby Biscuit, also known as my underground DJ name. Yeah.
There you
Baby
go.
Biscuit.
Little Rusk.
Yeah. No, it's a baby biscuit. Yeah. You got to do that.
So it's like, so all of your like consonants, it's like,
yeah,
it's just like a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I got you.
Right.
I got you.
Right.
So it comes from Gaelic, and it basically means a swamp, a bog covered with sedge grass.
Huh.
And
I'm
now
stick
that
with
we've
the biscuit.
So we wanted to know, now we've bestowed this knowledge upon you, how will this affect your life from moving forward?
I may just change my last name to Podcast.
Like Owen Video.
Right. Well, that was the next example. Or, Puff Daddy, because he's never done that before. He just changed his name to Sean Love instead of Combs.
Really?
So Sean Love. Yeah. He wants to be known as just Love.
Chad, what would you change your family name to?
Would I change my
got,
family name to?
14 last names. Yeah.
So Owen Video, Sebastian Podcast, and Chad.
It's Sebastian Podcast and Owen Video.
I think I'd be like Chad S. Pellucid. I think would be.
If you don't do that, I'm never talking to you again.
Chad
Chad S.
is
Pellucid.
Pellucid.
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go.
Chad.
So or Pellucid.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that would all just completely be, to pay homage to the great master of the podcast, Baby Biscuit. Anyway. So yeah, dead air. That's also a big theme of the show.
Can I send Owen a link to join the studio?
Oh my gosh. He wouldn't see.
We'll
He won't answer for like 2 hours.
I just sent him a link with the live, and I said, I've got no words.
He replied back, sucker.
Yeah. Wow. You guys need to turn that shark into an NFT. Gary Vee made like 25 million in 2 weeks. I think there's hope for you guys.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Daniel, why don't you get on that? Create an NFT for us.
Sure.
Awesome. Consider it done. Let's move on.
That's right. Sometimes you just gotta Taylor Swift it, shake it off, baby.
Oh man. God, I forgot about this. This shit's incriminating. Wow.
You've never been in this kind of show before, have you?
Wow, not at all. And I do this for a living. Never have I had this type of, this gives a whole new meaning to variety show.
Yeah, we appreciate
variety show. Oh man, that term hasn't been used since about 19.
Leo's used it a few times in the comments on the show.
Variety show.
Yeah, Leo.
I don't think that was a
I
compliment.
just wanted to welcome everybody to the next segment here of forgot the name of it. We're just going to keep moving forward here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep moving forward here.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. You
Johnny,
guys,
tell them what they've won.
Right? You guys do shows and stuff all the time. You're talking about the same thing all the time. It's like, you know what? Let's just create something.
Well, it's not the same thing because it's different people. But.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. We just wanted something where people could come in and just like forget about stuff and just have some fun and relax. Allow us a moment to take as many things of theirs out of context and share them with the world.
I believe we have a situation in the comments here. Marissa says that I sent a friend request. We have 17 mutual friends. Usually that's an indication you connect with people on the internet. It's the 21st century. She says that she doesn't accept requests from randos. Listen, lady, I'm not a rando. Okay.
His name's Sebastian.
I may be a random connection, okay?
Be
careful with your name calling, okay?
I like this randos thing. I think this should become a thing.
Randos don't have a profile or a bio.
It's like a pedo and a rando and walk into a bar.
Right. It's a baby biscuit rando. What in the world? Also the name of my new punk band.
Or rando baby biscuits. We could, like just put them on a platter.
Right.
Pick one of our rando baby biscuits. Oh my gosh. So, because we do like variety on this variety show, this is actually something brand new that we've decided to just do with you because you inspired us, because you seem to be a big fan of the word sucks.
Which sucks, to be honest. But yeah.
So we're going to bring up a couple of options.
Okay.
We want you to tell us which would suck more and why. So this is not just a close-ended yes or no, this or that. This one would suck more, and we want your explanation as to why. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Are you a little nervous?
I had to cancel my friend request to Marissa. I'm mildly offended, so sorry I got distracted there for a second. So sorry. Say bye-bye to Rando.
Leo.
Bye-bye, Rando. Bye-bye, Rando, baby biscuit.
Do you see Leo's comment?
Oh, wow.
So that's what they call the Arsenal, and she's a big soccer fan, and she's a big Arsenal follower. So,
I see what you did there.
That's what that was about. All right. So here's the first one. What sucks more?
7 minutes. Definitely 7 minutes in heaven with Ty Lopez, for sure.
And why is that?
Because my Lambo, bro.
Because my Lambo. Bro.
I've had several 7-minute sessions with Gary. We haven't been in heaven, but
you were in a football stadium, actually, weren't you?
Several times. Seems like every time I run into him, we're in a green room, which is cool. And he's on his way to Miami. It's so random. We're in another city, and he's on his way to Miami. But yeah.
Okay.
I met Gary 12 years ago. He's the reason I got started. He's the reason I'm here right now. He's the reason for Rando.
Wow.
Yep.
He's the reason
Baby
you're
Biscuit.
on this show.
Wait,
yeah.
I've only ever seen a Gary V video or read anything of his once. I think it was Periscope or something, and he was literally standing in a urinal in a bathroom in a Vegas casino, saying, "I was at the casino. This thought about something." I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I shut it off. And I've never, ever, that's the only thing I know about Gary Vee. Honestly, I know nothing else about him.
Cool story, bro.
Cool story. No, it's not. It's a terrible story. Let's move on.
I feel like I'm in like an episode of Between Two Ferns.
Interesting that you say that. No, it's not. Let's move on. Okay, what will be more sucky? Podcast about podcasts or live streams about live streams?
Oh, podcasts about podcast, live streams about
No.
Both. What sucks more? They both suck pretty bad. But
Right.
I mean, you guys live stream about this is like live stream about live. No, it'd either be more own video. I don't know. You doing the pew? He does that pew.
Oh, the Air 5.
Yeah, that triggers me. I don't tell him that because I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I'm like that.
I think it's very difficult to hurt Owen Video's feelings.
Really? You don't know him that well.
Yeah.
I've done it several times.
If it were true, he wouldn't have done half the stuff he does.
Podcasts about live streams.
Marissa, Marissa. Yeah.
That's very rando right there. Rando Thoughts with Marissa.
It's a perfect name for Marissa's live show.
All righty. Well,
the Marissa and Rando show.
You decided they both suck. So how about...
Oh, gosh. An entire season of Miami Dolphins, an hour-long marathon. You know, I like both of these things, but I would say having to look at Owen in his wife's bathing suit that sucks more. Yeah.
So if it was an hour-long marathon of him in his wife's bathing suit, then it's a no-brainer.
My favorite was that they were like away the very next weekend, and Teresa was rocking the bathing suit. She's like, "Remember my husband wearing this last week?" That was my favorite.
Yeah. We're like, yes, we do. We're trying not to. Thanks for bringing it back up.
Yeah, I can't. There's just some stuff you can't. Seinfeld, I can't unsee it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My favorite part was that he actually posted this with the green screen, which just completely left it open for any of us, if we so desire, to do pretty much anything we'd like to with it.
Okay. Yeah. Wide open.
All righty. Well, okay. Let's try another one.
What's bow ties suck more. Bow ties suck royally. I hate them.
Why do you say that?
Unless you like, because unless you like being strangled all day, which, hey, listen, whatever you're into.
Hey, bow ties were really popular in 2012.
Bow ties never go out of style because bow ties were never in style. Okay. So
how did the bow tie become a thing for you?
I decided I had a concept called Social Buzz University back in 2011. And I thought, well, I didn't go to college, but professors wear bow ties. So I tied it like half tie, didn't even do it the right way, and shot a series of videos. And then one day I thought, wait a second, I think I can go out in public like this. So I started going out in public like this. And then brands like Perry Ellis and people I would give talks for would send these as gifts. And next thing I know, I've got a collection of, 35 of them, all color coded. And then it became really part of my schlick, if you will. Is that the right word? Schlick?
I think it's shtick.
Shtick. There we go. As an event MC, I used to do a lot of event MC work, and that became part of it. And they really wanted the whole, hey, can you wear your bow tie? This whole deal. So I've since departed from the MC world. I do a tiny bit of it, but I don't like to work that hard, and I definitely don't like to wear a bow tie. I like to wear podcast suck t-shirts, my favorite jeans, and a pair of Jordans.
Did I also see maybe a video with Ted Rubin or something about a bow tie a day?
Yeah, we were part of a crowdsourced project that someone actually made us a bow tie, and we all got the same bow tie. We picked out the fabric and the colors and all that. But yes, Ted used to be Ted. He's retired down here in South Florida and goes out on his boat and lays in the sun all day. But before, when he was working and whatnot, like the rest of us, he did rock a bow tie. Bow ties and vests. Yeah, I need to give the old Ruben a call. He's a good guy. You know how you got a good friend is that he was in Cuba, and I said, hey Teddy, if you call him Uncle Teddy, I go, Uncle Teddy, since you're in Cuba, if you can pick me up a bottle of Havana Club, I'd be eternally grateful. And the guy did. He bought several bottles for friends and whatnot, but he was like adamant when he got back. He's like, "Hey, I got you the bottle." It was the exact one. It was the dark. It was the dark rum. The stuff is magical if you've ever had it. It is not the Havana Club that's in the States. It's like the one. Sometimes you can find it in the Caribbean and whatnot. But anyway, he brought me a bottle of Havana Club, of which I kept the bottle. Kept the bottle and the box. But yeah,
there you go. Well, now we know bow ties suck more. I got one. We got one last more. One last one. Ay.
You guys must be reading off a script over there, huh?
I think I've had some of the Havana rum.
Yeah. Sucking at things and never knowing, or thinking you suck at things but don't. I would say thinking you suck at things but don't for 100, Alex.
For 100. Why would you say that?
You're clearly a Gen Xer and not a millennial. Because this is how you distinguish between Gen Xers and millennials. Gen Xers think they suck at everything, and millennials have no clue, but they suck at everything. Sorry, Marissa.
I mean, that's a perspective. I mean, a point of view is available.
Yeah,
I think that I'm a big fan of sucking at something new. So,
like a popsicle.
Absolutely.
Oh, that a popsicle. Playing the guitar. Or something that
a pacifier, yeah.
It's actually funny that you bring that up, sucking at something new, because people will ask all the time about the show and like using OBS, and they hear these, there's all this learning curve and it's very difficult, and it's like everybody sucks at something when it's new.
Yeah,
everything's difficult when it's new. When you first started walking, you fall on your butt. So I like that, sucking at something new. It's cool.
Sure.
So, yeah. Well, the good thing about this show is we're all we're all middle aged, except for Marissa. We're all middle aged, mostly bald men, white men, in the audience here. I think pretty much we got Leo, Stefan. Chad is like 6 of the audience members are actually Chad opening up different windows here. So yeah, Robert, not bald, but he's. So we can make fun of millennials. We're not. We're fine here. Leo is saying, "Where's Daniel Glickman on the spectrum between X and Z?" I think I'm between the X and Z chromosomes. Oh, I'm totally off the chart.
Yeah.
Look at my.
Yeah,
there we go.
All right. Well, before we take a quick little break here, just wanted to leave you with this to look at one more time. And every time you watch Miami Dolphin football from now on, for some reason,
you're going to think about Owen in a bathing suit.
You're going to think of Owen in a bathing suit. Their cheerleaders will never look the same.
So I'm officially a hardcore mountain biker. If you have any questions, just email me. I'll let you know how really cool and really awesome. Not only I was on the bike, but how the trails were.
Now you sound like a millennial.
I'm a really hardcore mountain biker now. Just want to let you know.
That was so. I missed that hat.
That was a pretty cool hat.
Yeah.
Was that a Miami Hurricanes? Is that what that was?
That was a Miami Hurricanes hat.
Nice. Very nice.
This is how we're back.
If you need to go to the bathroom,
never get it.
You should go around.
One of the volunteers here at Christ Fellowship downtown. Great to be with you. Today's a real special Sunday. Well, why is that, Sebastian? Our actual CF kids are taking over our entire service. That's right. It's CF Kids Takeover Sunday. Well, what does that mean, Sebastian?
We have no idea what that means.
Whose kid is that?
We get asked that all the time, and we're not allowed to say. I just want to point out that last clip we played, one is very, very old. But even back then, before maybe you were even truly like big time as you are now, you still spoke in the third person, and that's impressive.
I am to please. I am to please.
Yeah, not only spoke in third person, but like ask yourself questions.
That would dramatically improve the show if you asked yourself the questions and answered them. And we didn't.
Just take ourselves out of the show. That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that mean, Sebastian? Well, I'll tell you, Sebastian.
Yeah. Or we could have this kid on the show and we could just have him ask questions.
If we ever find this kid, that would be incredible. It's like very creepy. It's how they got him to pose for the video clip with just staring and just.
What was it like? It was Stranger Things. This is like an episode of. I've never seen Stranger Things. They lost me on the first episode. But
yeah.
I also have never seen The Office either.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you never had a real job.
No, you posted. You posted about that. I thought, didn't you?
I just started. And what I like about The Office is that you can just dive in wherever. They say that.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that some of those first episodes are still on the air. That's mind-boggling because in the current world in which we live in, none of that content would have flown ever by any stretch of the imagination. So it's only a matter of time before they start thumbing through Seinfeld episodes too.
Yep. And start canceling things. Yeah.
Canceling.
Yep. They're gonna go the way of Archie Bunker. So look, this is actually everybody's.
Those were the days. Archie over here. Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I love about this? You know what's so meta about this show is that we always look for interesting clips to show in Can You Explain This? But the best clips are actually created on the show by people doing weird things like singing Archie Bunker or just like their reaction.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have a field day with this replay. Yeah.
We need to do seconds, like bring people back later and then show them, can you explain this that happened last time?
I'm never coming back
when
to
you
the
were
show,
on the show.
Right.
Well, we've heard that before.
Daniel's mindset. He's like, have you been drinking? You're assuming people are coming back for a second run.
Right.
They all say that, but they'll be back. They'll be back.
The only thing that would end this perfectly is just for me just to walk out.
Oh, that's happened. It has happened on this show.
At least
people have walked out. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the segment of the show that we call "Can You Explain This?" So if you cannot read the sign, I'm here to announce it for you.
Owen says that you are insane. I agree with that. Chad's insane. Yeah. I just sent him a screenshot of the Miami Dolphins or him.
And we both know that he can say that, but at the same time, he's like, they're thinking about me.
They are. His nipples just got hard in that bathing suit.
Because he's actually watching it. He's wearing it right now.
Right. Wow.
When my day's over, I like
to just tune in.
Recliner.
Right. In a bathing suit and hard nipples. Right. Wow. There's some things you can't unsee. Right. A little whiskey. Right.
Watching Love Boat reruns.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
So this is actually typically everybody's favorite little part of the show. And we kind of go through your social media and find some photos and things that we thought maybe there's a story behind, or we thought there just needed an explanation. And so let's just dive right in. Here's our first one. Well, actually, you know what? Let me...
Actually, this is our second one.
Here we go. Ready?
Wow. That was this is fantastic. This is content central. That's my dog Lincoln. Well, it's actually my sister's dog, but I claim him because I let him out once a day, so you can be like, that's my dog. But if he pukes everywhere, not my dog.
Not my dog.
This is I think these are Snapchat filters, I think. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Well, you just explained it.
So I'm pretty sure these are Snapchat filters.
Interesting. Yeah. And so you just happened to take one of the screenshots and thought, I want it to last forever. And it will.
Gosh, that's good. Oh, that screenshot I just got is fantastic. Wow. Of the one or this one, yeah.
Wow.
Everyone's face too. I'll be sharing this later, maybe.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And if you really need something good and you have time later, you can go frame by frame through the replay.
Sure. I'll do that. I'll definitely do that. I'm going to get right on that. Hold on 1 second. Go through replay before cocktail.
Don't worry about it. I already got your calendar link. I booked it.
No, yeah. Actually, I hope you're not doing anything for the month of June because I went ahead and booked it all out. Yeah. What do you want to talk about? We're going to talk about starting a podcast every day. Yeah.
We're going to go frame by frame through your episodes so we can find the best shots.
Right. Okay. This is great. I was cast for a show on Nickelodeon, and my agent called and said, we need someone with no facial hair, and I had a full beard at the time. So I was like, oh, okay. And like my goatee is like my trademark. Like I never shave it because I got a double chin. So I don't, this hides it. Don't tell anybody. But anyway, as you can see right there. So anyway, I shave and then I immediately go to hair and makeup, and they're like, okay, he's bald, but he doesn't have facial hair. It's just perfect because we got a wig. He doesn't have facial hair because I was the principal for the show. It was a show. It's no longer on. It was on for a while. It was called Tolly in the Kitchen. Wow. And I was Mr. Montgomery, your school principal. And the whole idea was there was a party. They were having a party and they got a little out of control. I tried to go in and maintain order, and they ripped my wig off. And so I looked just like Chad with hair. And so I just had the bald top and then just like the side action, not the whole Mr. Montgomery, your school principal. Anyhow, so I did a quick clip in hair and makeup, as you can see backstage there. And I did a quick takeover of my own Instagram.
So we need to find these episodes.
Yeah, there's a clip on there. It was, my name is Mr. Montgomery. I will be filling in for Sebastian today as he is readily unavailable to create content. Oh, so, yeah, I mean, you talk about I have this on my dating profile, too, because ladies can't make it past this pic. We ain't going nowhere.
It's like, I don't even know which way to swipe. Can you swipe up? I'm trying to swipe up.
I think most girls throw their phone. Yeah.
There you go.
They smash it and say, you know what? Yeah. Hey, we got insurance. I can't another unseen moment. Yeah.
He's so hot. I'm willing to get a new phone for him. So
Sure.
you actually did the show though. There's Nickelodeon episodes of the show out there.
It is out there. They not to be surprised, but they canceled the show after my season. I was told they wanted me to come back it was a one-off thing. So I was told the producers really liked me, and we're going to continue this series where there's going to be a need for a principal. I had done no formal acting, but agent calls and goes, "Listen, this really isn't up your alley, but we need a custodian or a principal." I was a custodian principal, whatever. So yeah, I went in, shaved my beard off, and put the wig on, and yeah, it was the hardest $350 I've ever earned in my life. But what are you gonna do? This is the Ronald McDonald Gala that I had the pleasure of emceeing for their annual auction and fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald House. Been doing great things for sick kids and families for a very, very long time. So. This was me and creepy old Ronnie boy. Yeah. And then the little girl clowns, they were cool.
Kind of changes like my whole perception of like Happy Meals. Looking at this.
Yeah.
It was. I don't know what the girl clowns were all about. I think they were just there because it was like, well, it's Miami. We have Ronald McDonald. So if Ronald McDonald had like
yeah, whatever. They saw you taking the picture and like, isn't that the principal from that show on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, they were. They were.
Yeah, it's like
Sebastian's my homeboy. That's the University of Miami home game. Right when I'd first moved back.
So what's the Sebastian component there? That's
the name of the mascot's name is Sebastian.
You didn't pick that up from your T-shirt?
That's an ibis. It's not a bird.
It
is a bird.
An ibis is a bird. Yes.
Yeah. So it's Sebastian the ibis. His name. So the T-shirt, my mom bought it for me.
That's awesome.
It was called. I'm not real good in orange. The color orange is not real good on me. But I like that shirt. I think I turned that shirt into a sleeveless shirt. So for the days that I just felt like
showing off the guns.
Oh yeah,
I get it.
But that's a good time. Always a good time in the parking lot there at University of Miami.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean, just the reputation of the school. I can only imagine what the tailgating's like. What's going on here?
Just for the record, by the way, before you explain this, just for the record, this comment that I put on the screen, it's not really relevant. It doesn't really matter. It just covers half of Chad's face, so I put it up there.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Now go ahead and explain.
This is me getting shit-faced at a Mexican restaurant on a Monday at lunch. I had a show called Foodie Buzz on my Social Buzz TV YouTube channel. And the idea, I got inspired from Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, of which he filmed at this location, was called Latin House. It's still in existence, but not at that location. It's a Latin American fusion type deal. Anyway, that was street corn. Unbelievable street corn. Unbelievable street corn. And right to the right of that mural there, Guy Fieri did his little Guy Was Here.
I wasn't sure.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
My guess was the street corn, but it seemed kind of wide, so I was torn between is it street corn or like one of those like vanilla ice cream bars where you dip it and put the top.
Yeah, it could have been. I guess you normally eat 3 ice cream bars at a time.
Oh well,
so
that's what who eats 3 ears of corn at the same time?
This little biggie.
Fair enough.
Man.
All right, we done yet? Good Lord. Okay, that's my sister, and that's my sister and little Seb. Yeah. She was she had a main part on Little House on the Prairie, and
what?
I'm just kidding. That does look like Rice Krispie treats. Marissa, my new LinkedIn connection, almost Facebook friend,
Special LinkedIn.
She messaged me and she's like, "I'm trying to like lower the number of Facebook friends I got, but we can connect on LinkedIn." I was like, "Okay, cool."
Lower the number of Facebook friends.
Yeah, me too, though. I am too. People add me, and the next thing you know, you're like, Are you receiving the amount of business you've liked? So it's a lot of.
I'm not. I'm so glad you reached out.
Do you want to subscribe to my podcast about podcasts? I think
sure.
Yeah. Daniel, do you have a podcast? If you do, you might want to subscribe to mine.
Can you mute him? This is the first ever social media cruise called, it was a concept that I created called the C Tweet Up. They used to have tweet ups all the time where you'd meet on Twitter and then you'd meet offline. And they had a group of us come to the Norwegian Cruise Line cruise ship and tour it. And we went on. It's the most anticlimactic experience ever. You get on in the morning, you tour the entire ship, you have just a bitchin' lunch, and then they're like, get off. And everyone's getting on the ship to go on actual vacation, and you're just there for lunch and a tour. So you have to leave. So you talk about like, womp womp. Was
there a theme, or what's with the get up?
So can I finish the story? Okay, I'm the guest.
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish the story.
Sorry, you
Sebastian's just dying to get.
My bad.
So
he's just dying to get the show over, and we're in his way.
Painful. But I'm like, I'm already knee deep. We might as well. So anyway, was able to. So I got with the group, or some of the group of the people that were on that lunch, and some of them were local influencers and social media people here. And nobody wanted to get off the ship. That was the running joke, but you had to get off the ship because people couldn't leave on vacation. So anyway, we later got together and said, what does it look like to put together a planning committee? And we'll go and pitch Norwegian Cruise Line. They're already open to social media influencers. This is back in like 2012, 2013, before the word influencer was even a thing. And we approached them. So we were working with their marketing team already because they were the ones that invited us to lunch on the tour. We said, hey, what does it look like for all of us to come together and create what's called a C Tweet Up? And we'll sell. You guys give us cabins as part of the planning committee, and then we'll identify some sponsors who later became Miller Lite and Bacardi because they were already on board. Bacardi's local here to Miami. Miller Lite was already on board. The Miller Lite guy was on board for the tour. That's how we met him, because he did a beer and food pairing. I bet you didn't know that existed, but if you haven't had a burger and a Foster's oil can, you're missing out, because that's quite the beer pairing. Anyway, Miller Lite was the sponsor, as was Bacardi. They brought a bunch of swag. This was our first day on the ship. So that was a referee. That was a hockey jersey. That was a Miller Lite cowboy hat made it out of a Miller Lite box.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's how that picture came about. It was a good time. See Tweet Up. We did it. I think we did it. Yeah, we did it 2 years in a row, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want to do this anymore." So yeah, Tweet Up does show my age. Can't believe it. Yeah. Oh wow. This was a nightclub on Miami Beach that you look like an airplane when you were inside. So it was my best friend's birthday, and I had just moved back. I was doing nothing at all. This was pre-social media. This was people would say, "What do you do?" I'm like, I drink beer and watch daytime television. So
and have friends who wear their wives' bathing suits.
Right. Lucky Strike. I used to do networking events. That's how I built my brand. Social Buzz TV and my social media agency in the early days before going all in with podcasting. I would do networking events, and then I would do a social media boot camp. And then, well, you went to my event, you went to my boot camp. You're like, maybe you can help me manage my page. So how I was able to start building clientele with my business when I started a business, having no idea how I was going to make money. So this was at a bowling alley that used to be on Miami Beach called Lucky Strike. One of those fancy ones. You got a bar and a sushi bar and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I would go in and sell them on the idea of giving me free booze and free food, and
have networking meetings there.
Correct.
Nice.
Do a little bowling. Yeah, I think this one was called business cards and bowling.
Clever.
Yeah. Oh, very. This got my wisdom teeth taken out, and I was still under anesthesia.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And were you the same thing here?
This was a video shoot at a client's house in her bedroom. So, no, so
is that a Lucky Strike?
Yeah, that was that was her kids. That was her kid's unicorn head, and we took a break from shooting, and I said, you know what, the internet needs some of this shit, so let's go.
That's funny.
This is back to the dentist. Same dentist to get y'all doped up, start drilling your mouth.
Yeah. And they do the work outside, or
the light shines in your face. Actually, no, I wear sunglasses inside because my future's so freaking bright. All right.
Last one.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Wow. Swim team.
Two can play that game.
This is Sports Illustrated, 1996. This is
Speedos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was pre spare tire days. So yeah, I was on the swim team. I wore a Speedo. I shaved my legs.
Nice.
And the reason I joined the swim team was because we had no diving team. Well, the outfits, absolutely. I used to rock that with my bow tie. On my way to Chippendales. Yeah, I the reason I joined the swim team was because my girlfriend was on the swim team and I wanted to spend more time with her. This is before, social media. So you had to call and be like, hi, can Amy come outside and hang out? Like you had to like, am I allowed to come over? Anyway. So I joined the swim team, but the real reason I joined the swim team, I was just like an buzz. My girlfriend's on the swim team. I'll be able to see her more, even though I was a really bad swimmer. But the reason I joined was because we had a diving team, but we had no divers. So when we go to competition, if you didn't have any divers, then you automatically default. So I was like, how hard is it to climb up on that platform and do a cannonball in a Speedo? So once I got up there, you realize that it's a little bit more different than you would think. You're like, just go running off that thing because you're like, whoa, that's a long way down there. But needless to say, never became a good diver. She broke up with me. I clearly outgrew the Speedo, and but I finally grew all the leg. But I still wear it on Fridays. Well, they make them different now. They make them go all the way. They cover your legs, so they're not as I don't have to wax my bikini.
There's something you didn't think you were going to be saying on a live show. Things you never thought you'd say on.
Oh my gosh! Now I feel like when comics do stand-up comedy, or they're doing improv and they break character. That's what I felt like just now. Even though I have no extensive acting background, I literally broke character right there.
Right, the fourth wall, it's all gone, all of it.
It's gone. Well, I'm never going to be the same.
That's one of the goals. It's in our mission statement. So the good news is you made it through. We're about to wrap up.
Find those devices these days, and that's how it's going to be. Direct mail, radio, TV. Man, I remember when that stuff used to work. Woo, my goodness! And then Facebook came along. That's really where it's going to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
My first talk ever. That's the first talk I ever gave.
Well, it was fabulous. The camera angle. I don't know who your videographer was, but he had to like either be really short or his legs were cramping.
That was my boy H2O.
Gotcha.
You just take a phone and
put it on the water bottle.
There you go. There you go.
I'm following you. So look, this little bit here. This is just for you. This is our way of saying thanks for wasting an hour of your life.
I'm not going to pitch anything because people are not going to take anything serious on this. Okay. So I could tell you that I am a circus clown and they might buy that, but anything moving forward here, I don't know if it's even going to be worth it, but we're going to give it a shot.
We're going to open the elevator. We're going to put you in.
Picture NFT.
And
yeah.
When the elevator closes, it's going to go up to the 60th floor. And so it's your 60 seconds. You can talk about whatever you want. You can pitch whatever. You can gripe about wasted time. Go ahead. It's all you.
Oh, we've already started. So I guess this is the part where I tell you that I help marketers and entrepreneurs go from idea to iTunes in 90 days or less by starting a podcast. If you have questions about starting a podcast, you're watching all of this madness for the past hour that you'll never get back, by the way. But in all seriousness, if you've been thinking about starting a podcast, I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. If you see the link there on the screen, podcastlaunchlabnow.com will bring you right to my calendar. You can also pick up a copy of my book, Podcasts Suck, if you don't have one. And I firmly believe that. That's available wherever books are sold. Amazon's probably the easiest place to find that. But yeah, podcasting is my game. As a podcaster and a podcast launcher, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I have 15 seconds left. So I'll let you know that there are 9 planets, there are 9 Wu-Tang members, and there are 9 astrological signs. That has none of those have anything to do with anything. But I hope you guys have a nice day.
Well done. Well done. There you go. You survived.
Is that what Jesus is going to tell us one day? Well done. Well done. You survived. I saw a meme the other day that said, God, why did you create us? And it was God going, felt cute, might delete later. Amazing.
Oh, the Noah Ark days.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, no, look, we do want to say thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Hopefully, overall, it was fun.
This was great. I've not laughed in a podcast episode like this in quite some time. And
now,
really
this isn't a podcast, right? This is not a podcast. This is something we call a live show. And one day you'll learn about it. But this is what podcasters do when they grow up.
You sound like Owen with this whole live show, live streaming.
Live streaming is for gamers. We don't do that. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I'm awkward. You must be uncomfortable. It's been a great hour, to say the least here. If you're watching the replay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Life's going to get better. I promise.
It is. It really is. And if not, just hit play again. If you like pain, hit play again. And remember,
our aim in this show is to make people, when the show ends, make people feel really happy, either by having them watch a great show, but usually it's by having them end a great show.
Right.
Oh gosh,
that's deep.
I'm so happy that this is over. Yeah.
With that being said, baby biscuit out.
Oh my goodness. Make it stop. Make it stop.
This is the show that never ends.
Feels like it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you still suck. I just wanted to let you know.
It's perfect. This sucks. You suck. Podcast sucks. You still suck.
For the business with money to burn.
The little skater guy is Stefan Kaplan. He was one of our guests, and he used to do like semi-pro or pro disco roller skating back in the 70s. So
wow,
man,
there you go.
Amazing.
That was an awesome episode.
It was Peace, Chicken Grease, and Bell Bottoms. Let me know when it goes live, and I'll share it. Oh, you see what I did there?
I'm gonna go rethink my life. We'll talk to you guys later.